Hello again, fellow friends, and welcome back to this, another tier list video with your boy Harperlarp. I say another one because if you didn't know, a little while back I did a ranking all of the playable Mortal Kombat characters video. So go watch that if you want to see what I think of your favorite Mortal Kombat character, quite frankly. So now I'm doing one for the characters in the Mortal Kombat 2021 reboot film, which I saw last night. And there's going to be spoilers, by the way. There's going to be big liberal spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, don't watch this. Do yourself a favour and go watch the film. So my thoughts on the film, just real quick. It's a good film. It's not great. 7 out of 10. Could be better. They made a lot of decisions I wouldn't have made, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. It was pretty good. I had a good time watching it. I laughed a lot. I said, that's fucking awesome a lot. So yeah, it's good. I like it. On the whole, there's some decisions I wouldn't have made, but whatever. Still a good film. Still fun. Still fun. So, talking about the characters, because, the characters, probably the most important thing about the film. Let's just look at the tier lists, right? So there's the GOAT at the top, because one character in this film is the GOAT, hands down, not even up for debate, the GOAT. Okay, so the greatest of all time. Then there's the really well done category, because, some characters were really well done. I feel like I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel that character should be, that sort of thing. Then there's just kind of there, characters that were just kind of there, really, not really, nothing to write home about. Then there's characters that were done dirty, because some characters were done dirty. No, there's no questioning some characters were done dirty. And then there's the secret, hidden tier of secrets. So we'll see what that's all about when I get to that particular character. So, let us begin. We'll start with Liu Kang. Champion of Earthrealm, except not really in this film, so just kind of there. He did a perfectly fine job at the acting, he looked like Liu Kang, sounded like Liu Kang, throwing the fireballs was cool. They didn't shy away from all the magical stuff in this film, which is what I like. They even came up with a way to explain why these people have magical things, and then they took it a little bit too far, like Jax's arms are magic, why can't they just be technology? Who cares? So Liu Kang, he did the fireballs, he did the dragon, this is all stuff we saw in the trailers. And, yeah, he's just kind of there. He's not the hero, which he kind of should be, because he's the hero of the franchise, but, he's always the hero, isn't he? So they try something different, I guess. As a result of Liu Kang not being the main hero, he's just kind of there. He's got nothing else to do. Tries to defend the temple a little bit when Sub-Zero and Shang Tsung and Melina turn up, and he gets his ass froze. Well, he gets hit with an ice ball. Doesn't freeze him. Not very accurate to the game, then, is it? But no, he gets nailed by Sub-Zero, because, Sub-Zero just kicks ass. And he's just kind of there. He's just kind of forgettable. Just kind of there. I feel like Bo Rai Cho could have been doing the exact same role, really. Which kind of makes sense. Did Bo Rai Cho teach Liu Kang? I'm sure he did. Bo Rai Cho taught a lot of people. Either way, maybe Bo Rai Cho is just a bit too much of a deep cut for newcomers of the franchise to sort of latch onto, but they may already have heard of Liu Kang, what with him being the hero. But he's just kind of there, isn't he? He doesn't really do much. Well, I guess he trains the Earthrealmers a little bit, but he's just kind of there, isn't he? Nothing to write home about. On the other hand, though, his cousin... Okay, not sure why they're cousins, but whatever. Really well done. Kung Lao was awesome in this. Kung Lao was awesome. He looked like Kung Lao, sounded like Kung Lao should sound. He's got the confidence, but it's not like overly arrogant like he sometimes is. I thought he was quite good. The moves he was doing, I was like, he's doing the moves from the game. He's doing the thing. His entrance is the teleport. He comes in through the ground and stuff, and I was like, that's a good way to make an entrance. He kind of stole the show a little bit away from Liu Kang, which is unusual, but not bad, because Liu Kang is always the center of attention, and this time it's kind of like he was pushed to the side, and Kung Lao was like, yo, I'm Kung Lao, descendant of the great Kung Lao. So, yeah, he was pretty cool. He also did that fatality with the buzzsaw on the ground. I was sat there, and I was like, he's doing the thing! The thing is what he's doing! He's doing it! So, yeah, Kung Lao was really well done. Got no complaints at all with the Lao of Kung. So that's about all I have to say about that. Let's see. Who next? Let's go to Melina. Now, Melina. Yeah, she is kind of... where am I going to put her? She is just kind of there. I don't think they've already done her dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna say done dirty. They did Melina dirty. That's what they did. They done it. Because, just, glossing over my long-standing complaint that she doesn't look anything like Melina. Gloss over that, because that doesn't make the film worse. It's just a personal gripe of mine. She doesn't really do much, like Liu Kang, except they don't explain anything about it. I thought that the guys who were making this film were going, hey, we want to please the fans and we want to bring in newcomers. And watching the film, on many occasions during the film, I was like, it feels like this would alienate newcomers. It feels like they're not explaining anything that a newcomer would want explained. Like, why does she have the teeth? And why does her mouth open and split up the sides and open with all... Why? They don't explain... Well, I know why, because she's a Tarkatan, or half Tarkatan. They don't explain that. And I thought that was weird, considering they said they wanted to, bring in new fans and whatnot. So they didn't explain anything about Melina. She's just a Shang Tsung minion. She just exists to be killed by Sonia, which we knew was coming because we saw it in the trailers. So it was cool to see her fight, though. Seeing her fight was cool. Her arcana was her teleport powers, which is cool, I guess, because, that's what Melina does. She can teleport. I was getting, Nightcrawler vibes is what I was getting watching her. But yeah, I felt like, Melina is an interesting character, lore-wise. They could have gone into that, but they went, nah, teeth. That's what you need to know. And you don't even need to know why teeth, just teeth. So yeah, I think they kind of done Melina dirty there. They could have fleshed her out a little bit more, but they didn't. So yeah, that could have been improved, I reckon. Could have been improved, I reckon. All right then, let's just go over to Cabal, shall we? Let's go over to Cabal. Now, done dirty is not where I'm going to put him. Really well done. Yes, controversial opinion from me. I know it's a shock. Because I've been seeing a lot of people going, Cabal was rubbish. They done him dirty. Every time he opened his mouth, it was cringe. And I was like, mate, every time he opened his mouth, I was loving it. They gave him a New York cabbie accent for some reason. Like, hey, I'm walking here. Like, that sort of accent. It was awesome. I loved it. I was not expecting it. He's like, yeah, I'll get that Kano motherfucker. I know that guy. It's fucking, Cabal was awesome. And like when he's running around super fast, I was like, he's doing the things. The thing he does, and then when he's fighting, he's all regular speed again, but then he runs real fast and he's all regular speed again. And that's kind of what he does in the games. When he says to Liu Kang, you want me to slow down for you? I was like, yeah. He looks like Cabal. It's a bit hard to say that he sounds like Cabal, but I liked his voice. It was cool. I thought Cabal was really well done. It was kind of weird that the way he died was that he got burned to death. I thought, double crispy then, because he's already been burned to death. And at least they gave him a little bit of a background. He said, I think he said in the film that Kano is the one that burnt him. And I'm not sure that's right. I know in the rebooted timeline, Kintaro burnt him. I don't know who burnt him in the original timeline. But either way, at least they said, oh, this guy is a member of this Black Dragon organization that we know Kano runs, or is a part of at least. And so they've got history. There's that. There was none of that for Melina. It was just teeth. Go kill him. They should have just called her Teef. T-E-E-F. Teef. So yeah, Cabal, I liked him. When he was on screen, I was like, hey, I like this. All right, now, okay. I'm picking these completely at random. Shang Tsung, really well done. There, I said it. Bold opinions, I know. It's weird that his eyes kept going black like a shark. That was weird, because it's not a thing he's known for, is it, Shang Tsung? He's not known for doing it. And again, maybe I missed it. But if I missed it, please correct me. But I don't think they ever explained why his eyes go black. They just do. They go black for some reason. Okay, that confused me, and I'm a fan. It probably would confuse a newcomer as well. And he doesn't morph into anyone, which is Shang Tsung's most famous thing that he does. Morphing into people. He doesn't do that. But he does eat a soul. He does eat a soul, and he has presence. When he walks into to Raiden's temple, he just gives that sideways glance at the champions. He's like, these are your champions? He's cool. I don't know who the guy is that played him, but I like him. And I I just liked seeing Shang Tsung on screen. Because, this is going to be a common thread. He looks like the Shang Tsung that I know. He sounds like the Shang Tsung that I know. And he seemed like a cool villain. He even said, finish him, which is something Shang Tsung said in the first tournament, So yeah, Shang Tsung, I think they did him quite well. He did his soul-eating trick. So, good enough, I guess. Right, I suppose we better move on to some guy called Scorpion, I guess. Really well done. It is really well done. Just kind of there. Oh, no, he's not just kind of there. Done dirty. He's a little bit done dirty. Really well done, then. Go on. Scorpion's really well done. I thought Sub-Zero and Scorpion were going to have way bigger roles in this film. I thought Sub-Zero was just going to be this constant threat that was like chasing the good guys like all around the world sort of thing. And Scorpion would be with the good guys, helping them, being like, yo, I faced this motherfucker before. Look what he did to me. So I'm gonna share my tech with you. All right? I'm gonna share my tech. Forward 4 is plus. So, but he's hardly in it. Scorpion is hardly in the film. He's in the opening, which is one of the best parts of the film, and he's awesome in it, you know, goes off to get some water and comes back, he's like, no, my wife and child, like, it was really emotional, really good acting, I loved it, like, probably the first time ever I actually felt emotional about Scorpion losing his family, and then he's not in the film at all, until the very end, which is also one of the best bits of the film. So Scorpion is, like, in some of the best bits of the film, but he's just not in the vast majority of the film. And, you know, based on all the promotional materials, and, like, I know Sub-Zero and Scorpion are the poster boys of Mortal Kombat, so they've got to be on the promotional stuff, but I just had this impression that they were going to be bigger roles. And Sub-Zero had a bigger role. Not massively bigger, but we'll get to him. I think they did a Sonic movie-style post-trailer redo of the Get Over Here read, because after that first trailer dropped, and he didn't really say, get over here, he just sort of went, get over here, and everyone was like, that's not a very good read of that line, to be honest, it's not really very good. But watching the film, when he threw the kunai at Sub-Zero, I was like, oh, he's going to say the thing. Have they changed it? And it sounded better. It sounded more like, get over here. So I was like, I think they've improved that. I think they heard the feedback and they went, yeah, you're right, it was shit, let's do it again. So yeah, Scorpion, really well done. I just wish there was more of him. Also, he doesn't have descendants. He doesn't. Why did they give him descendants? I don't like it. It's one of the things I don't like. Still a good film. This is the thing. I have things about the film that I don't like, but I still enjoyed it. But there's just things I don't like about it. On the whole, really well done. I wish there was more of him. Wish there was more of him. Well, I suppose it would make sense to move on to Sub-Zero now. Ooh. 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 Oh, no, he's not the GOAT. Oh, now you all know who the GOAT is. Now you know it's not Sub-Zero. My boy, Sub-Zero, Bihan. Just really well done. I'm sure most of you know that I did not like the lack of blue in his outfit in the trailer. And in the film, there is still a distinct lack of blue. There's not much, it's there, but it's not much. There's not much blue in it. And I'm like, but it's his color though, he should be blue. That said, the outfit is awesome. I wasn't sat there during the film going, ugh, needs more blue. I was sat there going, he's awesome, mate. Oh, and Joe Taslim was not on my radar, but he is now. After that opening scene, when he's like threatening Scorpion's wife and child, he's just so menacing. You just look at him, and the way he looks at people is just like, I need to fear this man. I need to fear this guy. He's dangerous. So yeah, that was good. It is kind of weird how he spoke English though, at that one point. At the beginning, you know, when they're in like 1600s Japan, and he's speaking Chinese, because he's Chinese obviously, and Scorpion's like, I don't know your words, he's saying that in Japanese, and then Sub-Zero speaks in Japanese, and he's like, you know, you'll die or whatever, and then in English, he goes, for the Lin Kuei, and that was weird, because why would you say for the Lin Kuei in English? And also, this is one of the things that makes me think it was like alienating the newcomers, because I know what the Lin Kuei is, I know why he said for the Lin Kuei, because that's what Sub-Zero says, for the Lin Kuei! But if you're a newcomer, you probably sat there going, what is a Lin Kuei? What does that mean, for the Lin Kuei? They don't really explain it. I know what it means, but again, it just seems like one of those things that alienates the fans, alienates the newcomers. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed pretty much every second he was on screen. He was awesome. Not once did I think of the Mario-style M on his forehead. I thought that was going to... Once I saw it in the trailers, I thought, that's all I'm going to be able to see in the film. All I'm going to be able to see is the Mario-style M on his forehead. And not once did I think about it. Didn't even notice it. I was like, by the time the film was over, I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that thing. Yeah. So, most of my gripes about his design and all that stuff in the trailers dissipated because he was just awesome. I wish there was more of him again. He had a bigger role than Scorpion, but it was basically just the opening 10 or 15 minutes, which is probably the best part of the film. And then he chases Cole and fights Jax. And then you see him in Outworld. No, you don't. Yeah, you do. You see him in Outworld talking to Shang Tsung. He's like, I am not Bi-Han. I am Sub-Zero. And then you saw him when Shang Tsung, Sub-Zero, and Mileena went to Raiden's temple. He didn't do much there. He ice-balled Liu Kang. That's about it. And then you saw him in the final fight, I think. I think that was it. I thought there would be more of it. I thought he'd be like the big threat that's just chasing them all the way through the film. But the long story short is he was awesome. I want more of him. Sub-Zero was really well done. Bi-Han, in particular, was really well done. I liked it when he took his armor off near the end to reveal that everything he was wearing underneath was just pure black. There was no blue. And I was like, symbolism and foreshadowing, because he's going to be Noob Saibot in the sequel, of course. Of course. And Shang Tsung was like, yo, I'll portal your dead body out of here. I've got plans for you. I've got a guy called Quan Chi. He should have been in this film, because that would explain why Scorpion became an Netherrealm thing instead of this weird Arcana thing. So I don't know what they're going to do with Quan Chi now. But he's here, and he's going to turn you into Noob Saibot. And then he also teleported Goro's body away. So I don't know what that's about. We're going to get Revenant Goro? Cyber Goro? Imagine that. Oh, I want that now. Fuck's sake. Oh, God. Well, better cheer myself up by, I guess, let's talk about Reptile. Let's talk about Reptile. And he is, let's face it, he's either just kind of there or he's done dirty. He's kind of done dirty, he's just kind of there. But he's also, there's cool bits. Whew. I'm going to say done dirty, because he's not like Liu Kang, where he's in the film quite a bit, but just kind of there and forgettable. Reptile is not very forgettable in this film. He's awesome. They killed him off straight away, though. So, they kind of done him, he didn't get much time to shine, you know? And there's some weird choices they made, like he's not wearing any clothes, because we know Reptile is famous for being naked in the games. Famous for it. Oh, no, wait, no, he's not. No, he's always wearing clothes. How silly of me. But, I guess it makes sense. He's a fucking lizard. But this is one thing that was weird. Shang Tsung said a sentence that was correct. It's hard to describe, because it was a deep cut with an awesome reference, but it was also an incorrect statement that came just before it. When he goes, send the reptilian Syzoth, and I was like, Syzoth? That's his name. That's his name. The only time I've ever heard anyone call him Syzoth is in an interaction between Raiden and Reptile in Mortal Kombat X. When Raiden says something about Syzoth, and Reptile's like, how do you know my name? Or something like that. So I was like, Syzoth? That's a cool deep cut. It's a shame that seconds before that, in fact, the very word that preceded that was reptilian. And I was like, he's not a reptilian though, is he? That's not what race he is. He's a Zeteran from Zetera. So if you're going to do a deep cut and get his real name, why don't you just get his race right as well? Why don't you just send the Zeteran? Maybe they were like, look, we've got to say reptilian, because otherwise the newcomers won't know that Reptile is this. They'll be like, what the fuck's this? And where's that Zeteran dude they were talking about? Maybe that's what they were thinking. But then you should have called him Reptile, then, shouldn't you? Send Reptile! Should have just done that. Because they're not going to know what Syzoth is. But for what little time he was on screen, I think he was done quite well. Apart from, he's naked, whatever. He had the acid saliva, much like Komodo dragons don't have acid saliva, but they have like super toxic, like poisonous bacteria-infected saliva. And I think that might have been a sort of reference to that. So, I don't think he spat any acid in someone's face, but he was drooling it, and it did lead to Kano getting free, of course. That was quite cool. And he was kicking ass a little bit while he was invisible, and then, of course, Kano's like, boom, with the flare and the knife, and he's like, now I can see you. And then Reptile's like, fine, I'll become visible, look at me! And he's got the long-reaching tongue, which is obviously a reference to his early fatalities, when he would use his long-reaching tongue to, like, eat their body parts. So that was cool. But again, he was just like, I'm here! I'm dead. That's basically Reptile's character in the film. So I feel like he was done dirty, because he is very popular. He's not on Mileena levels of popular, but she got way more screen time than he did. And again, we already knew how he was going to die, because they showed it in the trailer. We already knew how basically everyone was going to die, because they showed it in the trailer. Shouldn't have showed it. Shouldn't have showed it. But yeah, Reptile, I think he was done dirty. He deserved to be treated a bit better, I think. Right, so, who are we going to go with next? I think it's time we go to Sonia. Sonya Blade. I think she's really well done. They actually made me give a shit about Sonya Blade. And that's something none of the games have managed to do. None of them. Because I've never played a Mortal Kombat game and gone, I give a shit about Sonya. Partly because she's a member of the Special Forces, and I don't really give a shit about the Special Forces. But something this film does is, I've always said, I don't like the Special Forces. I think they're the most boring part of the Mortal Kombat universe, because I like the monsters and magic side over the humans with technology side. When they said Sonya couldn't train with them in the temple, I thought, oh, she's going to bugger off to Special Forces town, and she's going to come back with these gauntlets and go, look, I can shoot pink rings, bitch! But no, she didn't do that. She just killed Kano, took his mark, and then she was like, right, now I've got the magic. And at first I was like, but she doesn't use... Like, I know in the first game, or the first couple of games, in fact, it might have been in most of the early games, to be honest, she was actually firing pink rings out of her hands. And then in later games, they were like, that's a bit silly. But the ice guy isn't. so we better give her some technology. So I thought, she's not using technology. Why has she got the pink rings coming out? But then I thought, well, I do like the monsters and magic side, so I shouldn't really complain that they've taken a human with tech and given them magic. I shouldn't complain about that. And yeah, I think she was really well done. Like, it's Sonya, you know, she's tough and gruff and don't take no shit, and she's got an awesome rivalry. She's got an awesome rivalry with Kano, of course. Their relationship in the film is, like, just perfect, because it's basically how it is in the games, except it's almost like a friendly rivalry. In fact, yeah, I'd say it's a lot more friendly in the film than it is in the games. But yeah, I think Sonya was just really well done. Great casting. She looks like a Sonya character to me. I see her and I'm like, yeah, that's Sonya. Yeah. Unlike who was it? Unlike Melina. I don't look at Melina and go, yeah, that's Melina. I look at Melina and go, well, if it wasn't for the teeth and the size, I wouldn't know you're Melina. But I look at Sonya and I go, yeah, that's Sonya. So, well cast, well acted, good fights, good chemistry with the other characters, and they made me give a shit about Sonya. Mate, that's an achievement, quite frankly, because I so don't give a fuck. And I guess, of course, after Sonya, we have to move on to Natara. Of course, it just only makes sense, doesn't it? So, let me see. Where do you think Natara's gonna go? Where do you think? Done dirty. Probably done the dirtiest out of any character in the whole film. Because, why was she in it? Well, I know why she was in it. She was in it to be killed by Kung Lao. That's why she was in it. She's, you know, in Suicide Squad, Slipknot, the guy that gets his head blown off, he's just there to die. Yep, that's Natara. I did find it weird the way that Shang Tsung, not once but twice, commented on her beauty. I was like, "Are you an item? Is it? I know you like to change the lore. Is this part of your canon? Is Shang Tsung and is Shangtara a thing? I know people like to ship characters. Is Shangtara a thing? I guess it might be now. But anyway, they done her dirty because she showed up and she didn't even say anything. I was gonna say she showed up and went, "I got wings." She didn't even say that. She just floated around and Shang Tsung went, "She got wings," and then Kung Lao killed her. That's basically her entire contribution to the film. So, I feel I've never given a fuck about Natara. I don't care for vampires in general. I don't think it's a cool concept. But I know Natara has a lot of fans. And they must have been very happy to see her in the trailer. They were like, Natara's in the trailer! And then they see the film and they're like, okay. So I feel like Natara was done dirty in the film, quite frankly. So let's go. I think it's about time we tackled. I think it's about time we tackled Cole Young. So Cole Young, where is he gonna go though? Where is he gonna go? I should have made a special category for him. Because, I mean, he's not really well done because he's not an existing character. And he's not just kinda there, because he's in, like, every scene of the film, basically. I don't think he was done dirty. He's definitely not hidden tier. I might have to say really well done, actually. In fact, I will, and I'm about to justify that, okay? Here we go. Have a swigget of juice first. When I first heard that Cole Young was going to be a thing, I was like, why? Why? There's like 94 characters in Mortal Kombat. Larger than life, colourful, in-your-face, crazy mad characters. And you're inventing one for the film. Not just inventing him for the film, inventing him to be the main character in the film. And it's just another boring human again, like Special Forces. And he's a washed-up MMA fighter? Yeah. But, I must say, watching the film, I didn't hate it. I did not hate Cole Young being in this film. Now, I just want to balance this. I don't want people to think I love Cole Young. I want to balance this. I think the film might have been better if you took him out of it. If you took him out of basically every scene he's in, it wouldn't really have made the film worse, would it? Really. But I wasn't sat there going, oh, I hate this guy. Or, oh, this guy can't act, as I've seen some people say. His acting was fine. He shouldn't have been the main character, but I didn't hate him. And considering I was so against the concept of it, so against it, and then by the time I was done with the film, I was like, yeah, Cole Young's alright. You know, I wouldn't play as him if he was a DLC character in MK11 or anything, but yeah, he's alright. See what happens in the sequel, you know? The fact that they turned my absolute utter disgust into, I can tolerate that. I think that means he was really well done. They sort of slotted him into the Mortal Kombat franchise. Also, am I the only one that thought that girl was his stepdaughter? Or, like, I thought it was his sister at first. Because he didn't look old enough to have a daughter that old. I was, like, in the trailers, I thought, oh, that's got to be his younger sister or something. And then she goes, Dad. And I was like, okay, that's got to be his stepdaughter or something. He only looks about 5 years older than her, maybe a bit more, like 10 years. He doesn't look old enough to be her actual dad. So I just always had a vibe that he was her stepdad, but I don't think they mentioned that, did they? Am I the only one that thought that? Probably. I'm a strange man. So yeah, Cole Young, really well done somehow. They gone and did it. Riko, done dirty. Because, I mean, just like Melina, okay? Just like Melina. What did we learn about Riko in this film? We learned nothing. It's just a name of a character that was in Mortal Kombat. And, let's face it, discount Shao Kahn. Very discount. And he, much like Natara, he existed in the film purely to be killed by Jax. That was the only reason he existed. I don't think he had a single spoken line in the film, did he? He had crazy eyes when he was like swinging his hammer. He was like, ah! He looked like a fucking cartoon character half the time. Good job I never really cared about Natara or Riko, because if I did, I'd be big upset by how they were treated, because they were done dirty. I mean, what did Riko do? He stood there with a hammer on his shoulder, and then he got clapped by Jax. Credits. Here's your paycheck. Like, that was Riko. Okay, like, there's more to him than that. You know, you've squandered him now. I know death means nothing in Mortal Kombat, right? It means nothing. It happens all the time, and people come back from the dead all the time. All the time in Mortal Kombat. So, you know, he's dead, whatever. He may come back in the sequel. You never know. You never know. Well, we're narrowing down this list to only 4 more characters. I think we should choose the GOAT and talk about him, because everyone knows Kano carried this film for about the first 2/3, and then he kind of fell off the face of the earth when he, after the big shock reveal, he betrayed the good guys. Oh, oh my god, never saw that coming. I have to say, they did again, kind of like with Cole Young. I had some gripes at first when I saw the trailer. I was like, why is Kano working for the good guys? Well, he's famously a bad guy. Why is he a good guy in this? He's going to betray them, and there we go, it's all done. But they did it immediately. Immediately in the film, my fears were assuaged. That's right, assuaged. Because you see Cole going to see Sonia, and then you find out Kano is her prisoner, and you're like, oh, okay, that's good. So he is a bad guy, and Sonia and Kano have already got this pre-established relationship where they hate each other, and she's caught him. That's good. So he's not just a good guy. He is a bad guy who, through circumstance, ends up fighting with them until the inevitable betrayal. So I think he was well done. He was clearly the heart and soul of this goddamn film. Every time he opened his mouth, it was funny. The guy, is it Josh Keaton, I think, the guy that plays him? Flawless victory on the Kano, even without his metal faceplate. But, you know, they had to, because it's magic now, it's not cybernetics. Okay, I guess I should be happy about that. But yeah, once I got over the idea of this Arcana thing being in the film, I was like, that's kind of weird. Why are you making shit up when there's already so much established lore? But it works. It works. It's a nice, easy way to just go, look, these people have magic powers. Okay? Are we all agreed? All right, let's get over that. It's a nice way to get over that. So yeah, Kano was awesome. You fucking beauty. I loved it. Well, I loved it every time he opened his mouth, but I loved it when they were following Liu Kang to the temple. And he goes, oh, what are you going to do? Magic a door out of thin air? And then Liu Kang is like, whoa. And then the door opens like this. And Kano's like, you're alright, it's pretty good, I'll give you that. Kano. You fucking beauty. Fucking Kano. Oh, mate, he was the GOAT. Mate, I was not expecting Kano to be, like, every time he was on screen, I was like, yes. Because he's just the best. He's the GOAT. People who know me know how much Sub-Zero is my favorite character, and you know how much I hate, well, I hate fighting Kano. I like Kano's character in the games, but I hate fighting him. But you might perceive me as a Kano hater, but he's the GOAT. Sub-Zero was a close second to being the GOAT. Close second. But Kano, he carries the film. It's on his back, and he's like, let's fucking go. You fucking beauty. And he just fucking runs. Mate, so funny. It's exactly how I would think Kano would be. You know, it's just, they nailed it. Nailed it! Fucking nailed it, mate. It's like really well done, but one level up. Because he's just, every time he was on screen, it was awesome. Okay. I suppose we should do Jax. And really well... Yeah, really well done. And I'll tell you for why. I didn't like the fact that his arms were magic now, and he transformed in the same way a Transformer does. Oh no, he should have just gone to Special Forces and had them build him some arms, as he does in every other version of the story. But that was basically my only gripe. I thought, he looks like Jax, sounds like Jax, he acts like Jax, he's banging on about how he did 6 tours, motherfucker, you know, like, just to solidify that he is or was a soldier. And there's even a bit where he starts to get sad and depressed, which is basically what Jax does now. Like, he just gets sad and depressed is what he does. And he started to do that. He's like, man, I can't do shit with these arms. And he started to get all sad. He was like, sad and depressed. And then Sonia was like, bitch, snap out of it. And he was like, you're right. I thought that was good because he was about to delve into being a sad man. And that's Jax is known for occasionally being a sad man. So I thought that was well done. I just thought, yeah, they nailed him. The way he looks, the way he sounds, the way he acts, the way he drives, I guess. It's pretty good. Pretty well done on the whole, Mr. Jax. And he also claps Riko's head. You're dead. That was a pretty cool fatality. Even if we didn't see the actual gore in the trailer, but we knew what was going to happen. Right. My boy Goro done dirty. Done big dirty. It really was, mate. My boy Goro. Mate. Oh, God. Again, one of the things that I feel like was alienating the newcomers was when... Who was it? Cabal, Melina, and Riko were meeting with Shang Tsung, and he was like, yo, we gotta go to Earthrealm and kill him and such. And then you see the doors open, and the shadow of Goro's there. And Shang Tsung's like, Prince Goro, we are honored to have a Shogun Prince on our side. And I was sat there and I was like, mate, I bet people who don't know Mortal Kombat lore are like, what the fuck is a Shogun? In much the same way, they're like, why does Melina have teeth? What's a Lin Kuei? Like, all of these things. What the fuck is a Shogun? But I guess they soon found out. It's a 4-armed guy. I don't think they even mentioned that he was a half-dragon. But, yep, he's got 4 arms. He did not hashtag punch walk. I'm not going to lie, that did upset me. It knocked it down a spot on the scale for me. Because I thought, mate, he's got to... I'm not expecting him to stomp, because that might be a bit too silly. Although, could you imagine it? If, like, Cole and his family were in the house, and then Goro just stomps through the ceiling. He's like, I'm here, bitch! Nah. But that... I wasn't expecting a stomp, but I was expecting at least a hashtag punch walk. And I didn't see it. So he was done dirty on that, but then... so many little things. Like, why did Shang Tsung... Shang Tsung didn't go, I'm going to open this portal, right? And you can go through the portal, and it'll take you outside the house that Cole Young is at, right? And then you got to go kill him and or his family. Because we know that you're dishonorable, Prince Goro. So go kill his family. He didn't say that. He said, look, I'm going to open up a portal, right? And on the other side, you're going to come out in the guy's garage. Now, just for the record, the garage is where people store tools and vehicles and things, because, you know, you're from Outworld, if you don't know what a garage is. So you're going to come out of that portal in a garage, right? And then make a little noise, and then Cole's going to come out, And that's when you surprise him by opening the door. That's what Shang Tsung said. He must have done, because that's exactly what happened. Like, why did he teleport him into a garage for some reason? I don't know. That was weird. It seemed like, why did he do that? But the main thing they done him dirty with is just who killed Goro, mate. Goro is the single most successful Mortal Kombat champion there has ever been. Canonically. No one has won Mortal Kombat 9 generations in a row like he has. He was king for champion for 500 years. 500 years he was the champion. I don't think people quite grasp that. It was 500 years. Like 9 generations. 9 Mortal Kombat tournaments in a row. You know, the 9 that they won, and the 10th is going to be the one where Earthrealm gets absorbed by Outworld if we lose it. Yeah, all those 9 were won by Goro. That's how awesome he is. And he was defeated by the guy who keeps losing. The guy who is a washed-up MMA fighter. He gets his ass kicked in the octagon. He gets his ass kicked in training. He's so bad at fighting, Raiden's like, get out. Raiden says, get out, you're so bad at fighting. And he kills Goro because of his magic power. They couldn't have given him something cool. They went literal plot armor. He has the ability to just get his ass kicked. When they revealed in the film that, oh yeah, you know, people have Arcana and they have their own special ability and it manifests in different ways. In my head, no, out loud actually, I was just talking to the TV. Out loud, I was like, his special ability should be the ability to get his ass kicked. And that actually is his special ability. Oh my god, I called it. His special ability is just, you can hit me, but it doesn't matter, does it? Oh, and I now have tonfas with blades on him. Goro's death was really cool, though. I don't like who did it, but it was really cool. With the tonfa in the eye, and then the slice down the belly, and the guts all falling out. That was cool. I was like, gross. That was awesome. But the single most successful champion in all of Mortal Kombat was defeated by the guy who keeps losing. I just can't get over that. That's why they done Goro dirty. Goro should have at least won a fight. He should have at least given people a reason to fear him, but he's like, rawr, I'm gonna hit you, and then Cole goes, go for it, mate. I'm now invincible. I assume, because when Cole's power manifests, they don't say what it is, they don't ever address it in the film, it's just, it looks like he can get hit and it doesn't hurt him much. Still hurts him, but not much. That's his power, I think. They don't really go into it, but it allowed him to kill Goro, and he shouldn't have killed Goro, because he doesn't deserve to kill Goro, but he did kill Goro, and that's why my boy Goro has been done dirty. I can't even say he was done the dirtiest, because because Natara exists, kinda, in the film. There she is, and she's dead. Hope you like that, Natara fans. Like, she was done dirty. Goro was also done dirty, though. I didn't like it. And now, Raiden. So there's a hidden tier. I'm sure you've been waiting for the hidden tier. Let me change the name of the hidden tier to what it actually is. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hashtag fuck Raiden in this film. Hashtag it all day. Because he's... What's the opposite of really done well? Fucked up in every way? Yeah, that sounds about right. It's so wrong. So wrong. Raiden is a kind, benevolent defender of Earthrealm. I was like, what is he, a ruler? No. He's a kind, benevolent defender of Earthrealm. And he's a dick in this film. Like a proper, actual arsehole. The first time you see him is when he picks up Scorpion's descendant. Shouldn't have descendants. Picks up Scorpion's descendant and then walks away and then teleports away. I don't know why he didn't just pick up the baby and teleport away, but whatever. I guess it's more dramatically cool for him to walk into the woods and then teleport away. Whatever. So he's saved... Alright, so in a way, he's to blame for Cole existing. Let's face it. In a way. So he kind of deserves to be in dickhead there. But, let's get serious. He's just an arsehole. When you see him at his temple, he says to Cole, he says something like, oh, you don't have the correct mental or physical preparedness, or something like that. Like you're not ready mentally or physically. It's like, oh, fuck you too, dude. And he looks at Sonia, he's just like, no powers. And I was like, oh, maybe this is where she's going to go get her gauntlets and go, powers, bitch. And then he doesn't even address Kano, he just walks away. And then Kano's like, what about me, Gandalf? He just fucking electrocutes the guy. He just turns around and goes, zap. What an arsehole. Kano was just asking the question. He threw in a little bit of a joke in there. But there's no need to turn around and go zap with electricity. Fuck that guy. And then, of course, all the other dumb things about Raiden. Like Shang Tsung turns up and Raiden goes, oh, wait, you're here to kill us. Oh, I thought you were just visiting for tea. Oh, well, now I know you're here to kill us. Hey-ya! Put up a force field. I probably should have put the force field up sooner, but, I thought I'd wait until you got here. And also, so he lets Kung Lao die, right? And people say that he let Kung Lao die in Mortal Kombat 9. You could argue that he did, but I don't know. It seems a bit weird that he didn't see Shao Kahn coming up behind Kung Lao to snap his neck, but I guess the idea is he didn't. Maybe he was talking to Liu Kang. He was like, yeah, so anyway, Liu Kang, Kung Lao's dead, whatever. But in this, he just watched it happen, and he could have done something. And when they ask him, they're like, why couldn't you do it? He's like, I cannot interfere. And then what does he do at the end of the film? What does he do? Oh, yeah, he interferes. Just because he wants to. They're like, I can't remember who says it. I think Cole says to him, I thought you said you couldn't interfere. And Raiden just smiles at him and walks off. And it's like, you're a cock, mate. You could have saved Kung Lao. You could have interfered at any time. But you chose to just interfere now. You're a dick, Raiden. You're meant to be Earthrealm's protector, not Earthrealm's dick. Also, he's an Elder God now. Why? He's not an Elder God, is he? He is a god, or as of the canon of MK11, a demigod. He's a god, he's not an Elder God. I think in one of his endings in a Mortal Kombat game, I think in Mortal Kombat 4, he did ascend to Elder God status, but he didn't stay there. He's not an Elder God. And then this just raises questions. Are there other Elder Gods in this universe? Is he the only Elder God? If he's the only Elder God, then what the fuck was stopping him from interfering in the first place? Well, apparently nothing, because he can just do it anyway. And if he's not the only Elder God, then surely he must consult with the Elder Gods in order to change the rules of Mortal Kombat, because they're not really fighting the tournament of Mortal Kombat. They're like, we'll just give them... Oh, they don't want a tournament? We'll give them a tournament. And by tournament, I mean just quickly slap together 3 fights that'll be over in about 30 seconds, and then we'll call that a tournament, yeah? And Raiden's like, done! Because I can interfere now. I can do what I want. I must be the only Elder God. Why am I an Elder God? Who knows? Raiden's just a dick. And the final thing that made me... I actually fucking... there was a few times I actually shouted at the TV, and this was probably the loudest one. Was when Kung Lao dies. Sorry. When Raiden simply allows Kung Lao to be murdered right in front of him, when he could have stopped it. He then teleports everyone away. He's like, zap! And teleports them away. To a place... that I don't think is in the Mortal Kombat universe. I just made it up. They just made it up for the film. Called the Void, right? And they're in the Void. And they're like, where is this? And he goes, this is the Void. A place where Shang Tsung cannot reach us. And I'm like, as soon as he said that, I was like, then why is your temple not in the Void? Why don't you train people in the Void, where Shang Tsung can't get to you? You cannot tell me in 9 generations... where you've lost Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung never came to your temple, where you're training the students. In those 9 generations. He never came to your temple to attack the students? Never in the 9 generations, only this time. And you only thought now, wait, I'm going to teleport everyone to the Void. Why is your temple not in the Void? Why do you not train people in the Void? Where Shang Tsung, as you said, cannot reach you. It would solve the problem, wouldn't it? So that was just some stuff that made me go, that's just dumb. That's dumb. Raiden's a dumb idiot. He's a dumb prick. So that's basically how I feel about these characters. You've got the GOAT, Kano, of course. All these characters here done very well. Very happy with how they turned out. I don't really think they could have been done much better, to be honest. They were pretty much mostly spot on. I didn't think Liu Kang was going to be the only just kind of there character on this list, but there it is. He's the only just kind of there character on this list. If you took him out of the film, it wouldn't really have been any different, because you just could have had Kung Lao doing the same thing, and all the things Kung Lao did. And Kung Lao died. And Kung Lao was awesome. So maybe he'll come back in the sequel as a Revenant or something, who knows. And then, of course, these characters were done dirty. These characters, Mileena and Goro particularly, deserved better. The other 3, I'm sure the fans of theirs are going, of course they deserve better. Yeah, they all deserve better. That's why they're in the done dirty section. And then you got Dickhead. Lord Raiden. You're a prick, mate. He's like, what did you say? Zap! Except I would kind of deserve to be zapped, because I called him something. That wasn't Gandalf. Don't call him Gandalf, mate. He'll electrocute you and blow you across the room with his lightning zap. No powers. Fuck off, Raiden. You're meant to be the guy that's guiding these people. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, he only banished Cole Young and told him he was shit so he'd go back to his family, knowing Goro was going to go fight him there and knowing that that would prompt Cole Young's Arcana to come out and then he would defeat Goro. So when Cole Young comes back, Raiden's like, see my plan, it worked. Nah, fuck off. He was just a dickhead. He could have done that without being a dickhead, couldn't he? He could have... He's just holding open the door with his electric powers going, get out, you are shit. Like, Raiden, chill, son. Chill, Raiden. You're supposed to be nice and kind. Maybe he was Dark Raiden and they just didn't color him properly with the red and black? I don't know. Maybe he was being Dark Raiden. There will be no quarter given or some shit like that. I don't know. He seemed to be acting like Dark Raiden, to be quite frank with you. And there we go. That's it. That's the end of the video. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think about my placings and if you think I was wrong and if you think I was right, which you should, because I am objectively correct in this scenario. All of this is objectively correct. It is weird of me to say that Sub-Zero wasn't the best part in this Mortal Kombat film, but, you know, that's because Kano existed. And he's the best. And he's dead now, of course. Killed by a garden gnome. When he was killed by a gnome, I said out loud, oh, just like in the games. Fucking gnome. Oh, man. Ooh, but the irony of it was the one he spat on earlier. Shut up, it's a gnome. He should have been killed by something cooler. I thought, when Sonia threw that mystery... I say mystery chemical, I'm sure it said the name on it, but it went by too fast and I was a little bit drunk. When she threw that chemical right in his face and his eyes started sparking, I thought it was going to make the laser, like... still happen, but not come out of his eye and just like stay in his head and then his head would explode. Like that would have been a better fucking death for Kano. Not, oh no, I'm being choked out in a submission hold on the floor. Gnome to the rescue. But it was his right eye though. She did get him in the right eye. So if he gets brought back in the sequel, which he should because I'm sensing fan favorite of the film, his right eye was fucked. So maybe they'll replace it with a cybernetic eye. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. But it'll be a Revenant one. Well, no. I'm assuming that they'll go by the Mortal Kombat lore, which clearly they're not. So he could come back as Cyber Kano for all I know. That would be awesome. Oh, no, I just remembered I want Cyber Goro and it's never going to happen. That would be so good. Imagine hashtag Cyberpork. Cyberpork? It was just Cyber Punchwalk I meant to say, but I was so excited I had to get it out faster than I could say it. And, right, so yeah. I do like to ramble on at the end of these videos, don't I? I'm going to say peace. And the film's pretty good, Grease. I'm actually going to be looking for it when it comes out on Amazon. I am totally supporting it. Totally going to rent it and watch it in a higher quality than the version I watched yesterday. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a sequel, Grease. We've got to... If you liked it, you've got to support it. Don't just watch a pirated version and then just never pay for it, because we've got to support it. We've got to let them know that we want more. And telling them we want more doesn't do shit. You have to pay. And that's how you tell them they should make more. So... consider that. Grease. Either way, maybe Boro Ride Show is a bit too much of a deep cut for people to... for newcomers to... Sorry, George is here and he wants to leave. God damn you, George. Now the camera... Now the light's all wonky. Fuck's sake. I can't blame George, it was me. I moved my laptop and the cable that connects the camera to the laptop was a little bit too short for the movement. And of course the tripod is perched somewhat precariously, so it almost all went tits up, as I'm sure you just saw. Now I have to realign